philosophies in terms of the leadership issues, the way that I manage my life, the way that I manage my business, a lot of it related to that incident, and I shudder to think where I'd be if it hadn't happened. And so many people would look on something like that as a negative experience. To me, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I wouldn't want a repeat of it, but having happened, definitely, I have no doubt that it has defined me as a person.
Why does it always take a tragic life experience for people to actually start learning?
It's quite interesting. I read an article recently in the Harvard Business Review called Authentic Leadership, and it's amazing how many of the world's top leaders have actually had one of these type of bad experiences, so-called bad experiences, to forge their management style and the like. And I think it's about life, it's about living, and I think when you have these experiences, it's how you deal with it. So it's not the cards that you get dealt, it's how you play those cards that I think is all important.
You also wrote another book called The New Divide with other authors, talking about the unemployment crisis here in South Africa. What do you believe is the root cause of all our problems?
I think there are a number of root causes for unemployment, and I think a lot has to do with very restrictive legislation in South Africa. A lot has to do with very high wage inflation. Wage inflation per se is not a bad thing, but it needs to be linked to productivity improvements. And at the moment, employees are just not attractive to employers given all of these problems. And so you find that a lot of employers have opted for mechanizing, automating, outsourcing, offshoring, anything rather than to employ people, which is a sorry state of affairs and something that needs to be reversed. To me, the solution lies in leadership. It's not in regulation, it's not in banter, it's not in parochial interests. It's all around leadership. We need a person of the stature of a Nelson Mandela to stand up and say that this is not good enough. And in essence, what we've got is we've got a new divide that's taken root in our society, in that we have those that are employed. Obviously, there are about 13 million of them in formal employment. But importantly, there are those that are not employed or underemployed or informally employed. And we have a raft of regulations, and all the attention is turned to the 13 million, but the other people largely get ignored. And unless someone stands up and says we need to embrace all South Africans and to create prosperity for all of those people, we've got a problem in our society.
You're a member of various interest groups. In your view, how is business grappling with unemployment?
I think for the first time it's starting to sink into society that we need to do something about it. And I think government has recognized a new growth path. I think business has embraced it, and so have the trade unions. But I think the one empty seat at the negotiating table is the unemployed. They have no voice. And those three parties, business, labor and government, purport to have the interests of the unemployed at heart. But really the only people that have the true interests of the unemployed at heart are the unemployed themselves.